Your opportunity, Baltimore, down a touchdown and driving. This is a third down play.
Yeah, Lamar did this most of the night. He frantically waited until the last very moment and takes off and gets positive yards, a huge 3rd and 2 conversion. And then he's going to do a great job again of climbing the pocket, finding Rashad Bateman down the right sideline, man-to-man coverage. He makes a fantastic throw. Best catch of the night probably for Rashad Bateman, fully extended up over that defender.
Yeah.
And Greeny, this is the next play is why I get frustrated. Because we just saw a minute or two ago the likely touchdown. This is the same type of situation. The defender's back is turned. He's not paying attention. Lamar's got the chance to just throw this ball to space inbounds. The only place he can't throw it to is out of bounds. It feels like he tries to be perfect in that moment when it wasn't necessary, and it's a miss. And then this one is Zay Flowers. There's miscommunication that might be 1% of it. This is a miss. Zay Flowers puts his hand up. There's no one to the back corner. Just throw that ball with touch to the top of the S in the Chiefs, and it's a tied ball game.
Instead, here's the final play of the game. Clock's going to hit 0. Lamar's going to keep the play alive. He's going to throw a prayer, and Isaiah likely is going to answer it. Or does he? If you didn't see it, take a look at how close this was. By just that much. The toe is out of bounds. The Chiefs win the game, 27-20. A thriller. Lamar, what happened?
So Lamar, your perspective on that, on Zay's touchdown?
You said it, James. I thought it was a touchdown. I thought it was a touchdown, but I still think it's a touchdown.
We're happy with the win now, and he's got to wear white cleats next time. That's my advice for him.
When you win, I guess you can say that. It's the first game of the year, but look, could this toe, could that quarter of an inch wind up being something we talk about in January? The Chiefs now have the head-to-head tiebreaker, and the Ravens are 1-6 in their last 7 against the Chiefs. They haven't won in Kansas City in 12 years. Okay, let's focus on that final sequence. Lamar Jackson was brilliant last night. If you didn't watch the game, he kept them in that game basically all night long, all by himself. But then at the end, when the plays were there to be made, they were not. Dan, take us through those plays.
Yeah, those 2 plays that are previous to that toe being outplayed with Isaiah Likely, there's opportunity for Lamar Jackson. Yes, he was unbelievable. But when Likely goes to the back pylon here, there's 3 places he could throw this ball, Lamar. Okay, you could throw him to the front pylon. You could throw him just to the middle. You throw it to the back pylon. Just with space, he can body cook as the defender because he's not paying attention to. The only place he can't throw it is out of bounds, and that's what he does. This one to Zay Flowers, everyone's going miscommunication. I don't see it that way. Zay Flowers is going to show from the left side of our screen. He's going to put his hand up. That's kind of telling the quarterback, like, hey, no one's near me. Lamar throws it like Zay stops. He never actually stops. And then the 3rd down one, he climbs the pocket. This is really good, all that. Likely he's going to go up and make the play. But it doesn't even get to this moment unless Lamar hits one of those 2 plays to either Isaiah Likely and Zay Flowers. Those are missed opportunities. Lamar was great. 2-time MVP, can't miss him. There's not a lot left to be said other than if that was any other quarterback, we would be killing them. We have to hold Lamar to that same type of standard.
I feel like we've had this conversation on this show about Josh Allen a million times. They would never have been in the game if it hadn't been for all the different things he did.
We did against Kansas City in the playoff game last year when he got stepped on.
His
Everyone wants
foot.
him to throw a 40-yard perfect throw.
So no, but Dan, you were much nicer to Josh.
Because he got stepped on.
Yeah, Dan. Dan. Don't you, Dan.
Do I remember that?
Don't
No,
you,
but
Dan.
yeah.
Look at him, see?
Tell him
Dan, yo, don't you do that.
That's crazy. You flip-flop like
don't
that.
you do that.
Okay.
You definitely weren't. We got to hold him accountable when we were talking about Josh Allen. Right? Because you don't want people in Bills Mafia jumping off tables because they mad at me this week anyway. You don't want that. But Josh Allen, there were excuses made. I agree. It may have been different. But I was the same way about Josh Allen. I don't care about all you do to get your team to that point. The difference between Patrick Mahomes is when his team gets to that point, 9 times out of 10, he makes the play. And we've seen it over and over and over. And so if Lamar Jackson, who's a 2-time MVP, who if you ask me if he could be my quarterback, I'd take him every single day.
Agree.
He has to make that play. I'd say that if he was playing against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'd say that if he's playing against the Buffalo Bills. I'd say that if he's playing against the Carolina Panthers. Because when you are one of the 32 that hold that job, and when you are one of the 2 that are walking around with MVPs in the last couple of years along with Aaron Rodgers, that play is expected to be made. And when it's not made, it's inexcusable. And he's the reason that they're in that position.
Agreed.
He's also the reason that they went home with an L. You have to make that play.
I think that while everyone will compare Mahomes to Michael Jordan, we hear that all the time. Maybe an interesting comparison is Tiger Woods. Because Tiger Woods plays a sport that, in theory, you can't influence what the other guys do, and Patrick Mahomes can't influence what Lamar Jackson does.
Right.
But
you're playing
you
for second
remember,
place.
well, not only that, but they just did a little too much when they're playing against Tiger. It just gets in their head. Lamar Jackson completes one of those 2 balls in every other game of his life, and somehow in this game it doesn't happen.
I agree, and RC kind of said it before. It's that moment where he just tries so hard to complete those throws, and just the throw to Rashad Bateman, the throw to Isaiah Likely before, those are more difficult throws. I would say much more difficult throws, but he puts them in the only place that those guys can go make plays, and then those other 2 opportunities. Here where I would push back on the Josh Allen thing, okay? Like, Josh last year, when he missed the shallow, I said he's got to make it, and then the touchdown, the ball down the field, I said you'd love for him to make it, but the tackle's getting pushed back into his back. These are clean pockets.
I said
These are wide open receivers. I would say the same thing. But here's the thing. If it was Josh, if it was Dak, we would be crushing them. That's the difference. I'm not sitting here to.
I don't feel like we gotta let. I don't feel like we're not crushing Lamar. Like we've said, all morning, nobody at this table has defended Lamar Jackson. Bryce Young, who didn't play well at all last year, makes that throw.
Sure.
Taylor, what's the right thing to say? What's the right?
You're gonna put me in the middle of this right now? You're gonna put me in the middle of this fight?
You're new to the media. Enjoy it. Here's the question. Here's the question. When a quarterback runs for 122 yards, throws for 273 yards against a great defense and single-handedly has his team in the game, and then when the moment is there to win it, he doesn't make the plays at the very finish, what are the right things to say the next morning?
The right thing to say is he has to make those plays, but it's important, and I think everyone's done a great job here of saying that Lamar Jackson is the reason why they're in the game at the end.
Totally.
So he did everything to put them in a situation to be successful. He sees a guy wide open and kind of just holds it a little too tight and throws it there. Yes, he needs to make those throws.
Let me get Graziano.
The margins in the league are so small, right? Like AFC Championship game, as bad as they were, still if Flowers doesn't fumble, right? Maybe they have it. So like this is the thing. Lamar Jackson is great. Undisputably great player, will go down in history, but what is he? Is he a championship player? So far, no. We think he can be, but in order to be, these are the plays you have to make. These are the plays that, when they come up, Patrick Mahomes makes. And that's not a.
We've been talking basketball. We talked about Kevin Durant. Lamar Jackson right now is like Russell Westbrook. Right? We watch Russell Westbrook throughout the regular season and even in the playoffs have these great statistical games, has this huge impact on what teams are doing. But you remember when he and Dame Lillard went head-to-head and it got emotional. He couldn't make a shot, right? Everything he was trying to aim, every time he was open, it was hitting the back of the iron. It wouldn't go in. And what did Dame Lillard do? At the end of the game, Dame Lillard sidestepped, shot the 3, and he hit us with the right. That's
the watch.
Right. That's the difference right now between Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. He can do so much, and he did so much last night. And it's almost that you feel bad killing him about those 2 throws because of what he did. But that's the position. If I play lockdown defense at the cornerback position the entire game, and then I give up a deep ball in the 2-minute drive, I'm wrong. I've cost my team.
Well, and last night, and the way it goes and the way it ends only reinforces much of the narrative around the situation. One, let's keep it real. This is a football team in Baltimore that, if not for a quarterback that goes for over 400, it's got issues.
Oh, they blown out.
They're getting, and I think without the 2 dropped touchdowns, they're getting blown out. How often are they going to get 400-yard performances and lose? And then when these 2 teams, if they meet again, no one is going to think Baltimore is going to beat them.
I agree.
No one.
Even Baltimore, that's the problem.
I disagree.
That's the problem.
I think if you look at where they were last year when they met in the AFC Championship game,
Baltimore?
We perceived Baltimore here and Kansas City here. Right this moment, and it's a long season, it looks like Baltimore did this, and it looks like Kansas City did a little bit of this.